Well, hello. Welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
And I'm CJ.
And it is Friday in the Riv. And we got a whole bunch of things to talk about, from local all the way up to national. So we do what do you say, CJ? You want to start out with that picture?
Yeah, we might as well. I mean, we're here.
we received this picture from one of our sources.
This picture has made an appearance on social media, posted by a parent of a student at the Carlton Viveiros Elementary School. And this was allegedly caused by a teacher. So now we'll have to watch the school department and see how they hide it. It's out there now.
Yeah, they got a lot of practice. You know what they did with Malone. Nobody still knows what Malone did officially. I mean, we know generally what he did, but the specifics will never be released. They're in the same file with the Kennedy assassination. never to be seen again. Yeah. But, these are allegations. We'll make that very, very clear. These are allegations. They are not, there's been
not factual as of yet.
There is no factual evidence except that picture. Now, hopefully the school, not only the school, but I think the police should make an investigation. That's a pretty substantial bruise there. And so obviously this behavior is unacceptable in a public school system. I mean, but as usual, we have an issue. But while we're on a school committee, and we opened with this, I just received a text a couple of minutes ago informing us that Collin Dias, who is doing a stand-up job over there, he got his chance to show that he would fight for the people, and he's done so and done it very well. He's the Michelle Dion for the school committee. He's got a little help over there because Kevin Aguirre does a little bit of squawking too. But I guess the motion was made and passed unanimously that they're going to increase citizens' input to 5 minutes, which is a good thing as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a public citizens' input should fundamentally be as long as it takes, because they keep continuing to push to the back of their mind that the oath they swore to clearly states in the Constitution of the Commonwealth that we are, they are our substitutes and agents answerable us at all times. And if you can't talk to them, how can you answer them? They love to gavel you, shorten your input, when actually they should be listening to your input, because that's what they swore an oath to do. They are our substitutes and agents. We live in a constitutional republic.
Here's a comment from Collin Dias.
Yep, unanimously. And it said it can go to the full committee. Yeah, I hope so, Collin, because this is all about what the job is.
And
no,
welcome, Collin.
I think I might have just said it quickly, but I did say unanimously at the committee, the subcommittee. But, this is the whole thing. You've got somebody on a school committee now who's saying, listen, we're supposed to listen to the people. Pay attention. We've only been saying that for like 14 years on this show, that we keep, you and I are probably the only people that know part of the first Section 5 verbatim.
That's right.
For the Massachusetts Constitution, because we quote it so often. But
True.
This is what they swore an oath to. And sometimes they have political amnesia and they don't. But it's their job. And then when we went before the council, the city council, the time that our illustrious city administrator said, don't listen to those people who just came up here. Well, you have to, as we said then, you have to listen. You don't have to agree, but you have to listen, because you are, by law, our substitutes and answerable us at all times. So anybody wants to look it up, just go to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Constitution. It is right at the beginning, part of the first, sections 4 and 5. Section 4 basically says that the people are the government. Section 5 clearly articulates that politicians are supposed to be working for us and doing what we tell them to do, not ignoring us and doing what they want to do.
That's true. I want to welcome Collin, though. I think this is the first time Collin has ever made a comment.
Yeah. Welcome,
on our show. Welcome, Collin. I appreciate your input. And you're always welcome even to make an appearance on the show if you have anything you want to say, because we'll be more than happy to send you the link and you can be on the show with us. It would be great. I think it's just very interesting that it took Collin to get a point across about citizens' input. Obviously, in the city council, that's not going to fly, okay? Because we have a council president who wants to cut you out of the mix as often as he possibly can, as you've seen. Both of us have seen. 15 seconds, 10 seconds. All right, you're all done. You know,
beat it.
And even when members of the council try to waive the rules and extend your time, he says the rules have been waived to get 3 more minutes. I personally think that citizens' input, like you, should be unlimited. I think it should be there for the people to say what they need to say, and that's it. And not to have the city council interject questions that takes away from your time. Okay? And they do that all the time. The citizens' input is for the citizen to be heard, not the city council. If you want to start asking questions after they're done with what they have to say, that's fine. But while they're speaking, give them the respect that you demand. Whether you're being the school committee, the city council, give them the respect that you demand. And don't allow somebody like the city administrator to turn around and say, don't listen to those people. Don't allow the corporate counsel for the school committee to say, don't listen to those people. It's not right.
No,
don't let the mayor turn around and say, that's not on the agenda. You can't talk about it.
Or even worse, saying that, I want you to vote on this appropriation and you don't get to see the numbers.
And you don't get to see the bills. That's right.
You don't even get to see anything. So, which is, number one, a gross violation of their fiduciary obligation. See, the school committee are fiduciaries too, because they appropriate money, just as the city council does. And like I said, I got, in the file back there, I've got case law this thick that clearly states that they have a fiduciary obligation to go beyond. It says go beyond what was presented to them. It says they have to cast quote. And this is from a case, and it's from a case, if you want to look it up, it's actually on the Cornell Law School website.
Not that that's reputable.
Yeah, not that it's reputable, Cornell Law. That's where I pulled the case from. And it clearly states that you have to cast, this is in quotes, a critical eye and look beyond what is presented to you, dig into it, because you are a fiduciary and your sole obligation is to your clients, and your clients are the taxpayers and people of the city of Fall River. It's not the politicians. We used to see the city council all the time give an hour and a half to the business owners, to the Chamber of Commerce especially. They used to be up there every year whining, lower our taxes, and screw the people of Fall River. Raise their taxes, lower our taxes. but we still won't pay our people more than minimum wage. So the Chamber of Commerce is anti-labor. So people who don't know that don't know anything about the reality. They're always advocating for money for themselves at the expense of the taxpayers and the workers, because they operate with small business. Big business doesn't care. They got 165 lawyers on their payroll. They got all kinds of loopholes. Half of them don't pay taxes anyway. And in Fall River, all we do is give them TIFs and transfer that bill over to the homeowner. But this is it. Collin's doing the right thing. He did it before he got on there. I mean, he filed a complaint about them not allowing him to say what he had to say, and they ruled in his favor. And I'm glad he got his opportunity to be on the school committee, because he's showing that unlike some people, he is actually walking the walk, not just talking the talk, because we have a lot of people that run for office that are frankly alligator mouths attached to canary asses, and they just don't do the job. They get there and all of a sudden they forget, and it's like they're just part of the team now. So just shut up, keep your mouth shut, do what the puppeteers tell us to do. And with that, I got a comment. Did you see that pseudo interview, semi interview when Brett Baier interviewed Kamala?
The Fox interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, well, it wasn't really an interview. She never answered a question again, as usual. But then they attacked him, and she was 15 minutes late. Talk about, and they said, and I read one of the wokies wrote in and said, "Oh, they were disrespectful." What's this? That will be, yeah. But she appeared 15 minutes late, but then the wokies are saying that Brett Baier was disrespectful to a sitting vice president, which he wasn't. He was asking questions. He actually let her babble incoherently on every answer and not answer the question. He tried follow-up questions, but it was totally crazy. And the worst one was when they talked about the border. He asked a very simple question. Do you know how many people have come over the border during your term? And she went off, well, the border's been broken no, it hasn't. When Trump was in, it was closed. It's been broken, and it's all because Congress won't pass a bill. Well, wait a minute. You guys, Trump fixed the border with executive orders, and you broke it by repealing those executive orders, like remain in Mexico. It's not hard to close a border. Texas has closed their border, as a matter of fact. Governor Abbott in Texas has fundamentally cut the illegal flow in Texas by 85%.
And remember, the federal government, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, want to stop them. They're fighting them on that.
I know.
They said that they are violating the law.
Well, they're also fighting. The federal government's filed lawsuits in Virginia and I think Alabama. And I know that Patrick will correct me if it's not Alabama, but I know Virginia for sure against Youngkin. They filed a suit because he's trying to throw illegal aliens off the voter rolls. They said it's too late to do that. And it's like, why should it be too late? They shouldn't be on the tax. They want these people to vote. They are, and they go out saying we're about voter integrity. They're not about voter integrity. That's the reason they're letting these people in. They want them to vote because then they'll stay in office forever because they're getting everything for free. So what do you expect? But they actually filed lawsuits against states who are trying to take people who don't belong on the voting rolls off the voting rolls. This is the party that's for democracy and the Constitution. Give me a break. And then the worst one, besides the not knowing, because she never answered the question, she kept going, well, Trump did everything. Her answer was, I hate Trump. Well, what are you going to do about the about the inflation that you caused? I hate Trump. You know, it's always Trump, 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 Trump. Nothing about her policies because she has none. But then they talked about the murders and the rapes. And now I just saw on a blurb that I was looking at on my phone on one of the media outlets that the Tren de Agua that took over housing complexes in Colorado have now taken over 3 or 4 housing complexes in San Antonio, Texas. And when Jocelyn Nungiri's mother, they showed the excerpts of her testifying before Congress and blaming this administration for letting those 2 animals that raped and tortured her 12-year-old daughter and killed her. She couldn't say that, you know, it shouldn't have happened. You know, we apologize for this. Oh, I really feel badly about this. Yeah, you really feel badly, but you know, you caused it. You caused it. But it was a horror show. She was 15 minutes late, and they cut, and her aides told Bear they had to stop it 10 minutes early. So she was 15 minutes late and left 10 minutes early because she looked so bad that they had to get her off the air because she never answered a question. Never. And she finally was on a media outlet that asked follow-up questions, pressed her a little bit, because Bear did try. He wasn't aggressive enough for my liking, because you know I'm a little aggressive on the aggressive side. So
not you.
Yeah, because you know, and she kept using the things she used in a vice presidential debate. Let me finish my answer. Let me finish my answer. And Bear tried to, you know, oh, no, I'm speaking. Don't be rude to me. But I can be rude to you and ignore your question. But okay. But if I was Bear, I would have said, with all due respect, Madam Vice President, I've asked you numerous questions that you didn't answer. You go off on some tangent talking about 10 years ago, and you don't want to talk about your administration, your policies, or your administration's policies. So why should I let you not answer a question? You're saying that you're answering a question, but like she did in every interview, but she got away with it on the mainstream media because they're propaganda arms for the left. I mean, she could, every time they asked her questions, she went, well, I'm from a middle-class family, which is a lie. She grew up in one of the most affluent suburbs of Montreal. Her father was a professor. Her mother was also, I believe, a professor. They had money, but she spins these things like she works at McDonald's. But this is the whole problem with the situation. You can't get a decent, you know, you can't get a decent debate anymore. Vance and Tiny Tim, that was fairly decent. It was like kind of like the old days. I long for the days. I guess the moral of this story is, I long for the days of Kennedy Nixon, or even go back farther than that when I was a little kid, Lincoln Douglas. So that was a joke, by the way. I wasn't alive when Lincoln debated Douglas. Okay, just in case you think I'm Methuselah. But they don't debate anymore. These things are all exercises in political propaganda. They get the questions first. They only fact check the people they want to fact check. And even when they fact check, they fact check incorrectly. But it is what it is. But that debate was a fiasco. It was a travesty. So we'll see what happens. We're getting close, everybody. We're getting close. It won't be long. What is it? Like 19 days or something like that?
I was going to say 18 or 19 days.
19 days, I think.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I long for those actually informative debates, because remember, we told you on our first show all those years ago, follow the money and do your homework. But you can't do your homework anymore because what you get on these media outlets is just total BS. Total BS. Because remember how long, even though the FBI had confirmed the Hunter Biden laptop, they said it was Russian disinformation. Matter of fact, they're still saying it every once in a while. So you have to do your own homework.
That's, we've been saying that for years, and you're right. I mean, even social media outlets, you cannot trust the information that's there. And if you start Googling it, Google is also kindly skewed to the right. Okay? I should say to the right, to the left. They're kind of screwed. They've kind of screwed you in the information they provide. Because I've done a lot of looking, and I found some stories about Trump which are pretty accurate, depending on the outlet, like News Nation. And I found some Trumps on Kamala Harris, which are pretty accurate. Again, from places like News Nation. But you can't trust everything you read. You've got to make sure you check it over and over and over again. So, get over it, Patrick.
It was cold. Oh, poor Patrick. It was cold. We were cold up here, too. It was pretty cold. But no, you're right, CJ. Remember that incident where when somebody tried to get information on Trump and they say, we do not give out any kind of political, and we're not going to answer that. And then when they Googled Kamala, they told they gave her entire life history,
right,
the way she wanted it portrayed. And then when they got called on it, they went, oh, it was a glitch.
It's always a glitch.
Sorry, it was a glitch.
It's always a glitch.
It's always a glitch. I know that because I'm like you. I Google a lot of stuff, and it's like, although now I'm using DuckGo or something or whatever.
Go Duck.
Go Duck or whatever, because it's Go Duck. It's kind of nonpartisan to a degree. But I Google stuff on Trump, and all you get is negative stuff if you get anything. And then you Google somebody on the left, and you get everything.
Thank you for correcting me, Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick. I got to look on my phone anyway. Let me see. What does it say on my phone? Oh, yeah. Okay. No, but I've got that search engine too. But yeah, you just look at it. She's not going to the Al Smith dinner. The Al Smith dinner. She sent in a video because it can be controlled. She sent a video in, and I was watching the filming. I watched that dinner, which is supposed to be they can roast each other. She didn't show up. The first president, I don't know, since Mondale, I believe, that hasn't showed up today. And we all know what happened to Mondale. But she didn't show up. She's going to send a video, but they had Schumer sitting in the front row. And when they said she wasn't showing up, they started booing. You should have seen his face. Looked like somebody hit him in the face with a crap pie. And then when they said, but the 45th president of the United States is with us, and everybody started clapping, again, he looked like somebody hit him in the face because he wasn't happy. But he was there, at least, with his frozen hamburgers. Remember that promo video that went south? He was trying to pretend he was a regular guy who was grilling hamburgers, except they were frozen. They were like icebergs on the grill. So these people everything is propaganda. So listen, pay attention. And like I said, if you like what's going on in this country, vote for Harris. Because if you like inflation, you like us putting $1 billion into in Massachusetts for illegals while we let veterans sleep in the street and vote against veterans' preferences for affordable housing. And they're doing it on a national scale too. If you like trade agua or whatever the name is, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think it's going to last long in Texas though, because Texas is still a red state, and Abbott's not going to allow that stuff to happen too long in Texas. They're going to be sending in some troops to clean them out. and that's what you got to do.
You know, the sad part about it is, and this has come up a couple of times with a couple of different news media personnel. It's almost like this country is on the verge of a civil war. Okay, I mean, we're pitting state against state, Massachusetts against Texas, Rhode Island against Georgia, because the southern states don't want the immigrants. And they're shipping them off to Massachusetts, who's like, oh, come, give me, you're tired, you're weak, you're poor, you're illegal. We'll give you everything. Okay? And, New York did the same thing. And people in those most liberal states are getting upset because they're seeing $1 billion with a B spent by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts on what they call migrants. They're illegals, but they call them migrants. They want to make it sound good. Okay? That's Governor Maura Healey. Migrants. You voted her in. You wanted her. You wanted her. You had another option.
I'll tell you.
You had another option.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. But you see how they minimize anything. One of the most heinous examples of that. Did you see that interview? Yeah, outlawed it. I love fishes. Yeah. Well, did you see when the moderator J.D. Vance mentioned the gangs taking over in Colorado? She said, "Oh, that's not true." The mayor of the city, who was a Democrat and trying to cover it up like they always do and minimize it and diminish it, said, "It's only a few high rises." And then Vance made the greatest comeback ever. You can tell why, unlike Biden, he didn't say he graduated at the top of his law school class. He did. And it was from Yale. So he said, "Do you hear yourself? You're saying there's only a few, 2 or 3, that have been taken over in Aurora by illegal gangs. Gangs from another country are taking over buildings in the United States, but it's okay because it's only a few." That's how dysfunctional these people are. They try to, they're trying to minimize it and normalize it. Oh, it's only a couple of buildings. Well, it's not now. Now they're doing it down in San Antonio. And once those buildings are occupied, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go to other buildings. I mean, these people, like I said, they're batshit crazy. I mean, I don't know what their brain is, because they're all, the class is made up. The Democratic Party is now made up of 2 classes. They're rich elites, the movie stars and the singers and all the people with millions of dollars. You can get the boss talking about how he wants it, and Cher's going to leave the country with all their millions of dollars. But they're insulated from this. You can't get near their house. It's like illegals going to Martha's Vineyard. They said Massachusetts and Rhode Island want these immigrants, but when they hit the rich area, see you later, bye. They didn't last 24 hours in Martha's Vineyard.
That's right. I remember that. And we said on our show, if you remember, that's not going to last too long.
Yeah, and it didn't. The next morning they were out, and they wouldn't even put them in. They'll put them in hotels that we're paying for.
Right.
In every city in Massachusetts, when they were at Martha's Vineyard, they didn't stick them in the hotels, and it was off season. All those hotels were empty.
Right.
They had plenty of rooms. They stuck them in a gymnasium or something, or a hall, a church.
Oh, the church
Hall. Yeah, sleeping on the floor in a church hall because you're getting out of here tomorrow, pal. See you later. You're on a bus. You're packing. We're sending your ass packing to maybe Fall River or Boston or somewhere else where we can stick you with the regular people. You're not staying in our area, and that's the problem. You got people that are looking for handouts, and you got rich people who are insulated right now. But what they don't realize is when they get done stealing everything they can steal from the regular people, they're going to go into their neighborhoods. All you have to do, and this isn't a theory, it's a fact. Remember what happened in Georgia and Atlanta. And remember that Buck something or other. It was an area. They started invading one of the most affluent areas in Atlanta. What's this?
You're right, Nelson.
Yeah, of course he's going to put red. That's how he's running for office, Nelson. He wants all those votes. That's what the Democrats do on a national level. What's Kamala's idea? Handouts. $25,000 for houses. They'll raise the price $25,000. We're going to give everybody everything. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Get free college tuitions, free this, free. There's no free lunches. We're going to pay. And what was the new one? Did you hear the new one? That people on mass health and illegals are going to get, if they have any housing, they're going to get 71% decreases in their heating bill, 40% decrease in their electrical bill. Well, who the hell do you think's going to pay for that? You think the electric company's giving them electricity and losing money? No, they're going to get their money. Maura Healey's going to pay with our money. There's another example.
Maura Healey announced that this week, that anyone that's on mass health, transitional assistance, EADAC, SNAP benefits, will receive automatically. You don't even have to apply for it. Automatically receive a 71% reduction in your fuel costs and a 50-some-odd% reduction in your electric costs. Now, I know what my electric bill is. And let me tell you something. If I could get 50% off my electric bill, I'd be happy. I'm sure you would too, Chip.
But the only thing we get, the only thing we get is get bent over. That they just keep doing it in these states. That's why Massachusetts had we're averaging 1,100 people a month leaving the state.
Right.
Because if you can get out, you're getting out. Some people can't get out. I mean, they just can't afford it because, you're going to sell your house here. The housing prices in this administration have gone up so much you can't afford a house where you're going to move anyway.
50% increase on average across the country on housing costs.
Yeah, like I said, vote for Kamala. My car insurance went up $800. So I went shopping and got a better deal, but it still went up. But I mean, car insurance went up 53% on an average.
Yeah.
Our water bill's going up 23%.
My homeowner's insurance went up, and I haven't filed a claim in I don't know how long. And because I hadn't filed a claim in more than 5 years, they gave me a 20% discount on one portion of the bill. So I think that 20% equated to $22 out of a $6,000 insurance bill. You wonder why rents are going up? $6,000 for homeowners insurance.
No, you're right. I was talking to a guy that owns some businesses. He's got some money. He's not a millionaire, but he does well. He owns some businesses. He owns multiple businesses, diverse businesses too. He was complaining to me the other night. I was at a meeting, and he was telling me that his house insurance went up from $7,000 a year. It went up to $11,000.
Yeah.
$11,000 for house insurance. Obviously, he's got a nice house. Okay, he's a businessman. If you're going to get that kind of house, it's got to be worth a lot of money. But still, these people are complaining, and they're well above the average income in this area. Well above the average income, and they're getting murdered. Because you can't keep printing money and giving free shit away to every illegal that crosses the border, health care, housing, everything nothing. They don't pay for it. Then they gave them in New York, they gave them scooters. And then you expect to say, I don't know why we're paying $1 million a day on our deficit. It's costing just an interest. And you wonder why we have inflation. These people in the Democratic Party don't know basic economics. You can't keep printing money. Apparently, nobody ever read a history book. Go read a history book. Why do you think Hitler rose to power in Nazi Germany? Germany collapsed after World War I. They started printing money, and then you ended up with a wheelbarrow full of Deutschmarks to buy a loaf of bread, and the economy collapsed. And then the people got fed up, and we ended up with Nazi Germany. Why? Because you can't keep printing money. You can't keep giving away money, especially money you don't have. Because the federal government is the only branch of government that can deficit spend. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when that lawyer came down and eviscerated everybody. That's gone to bed. But remember, Nelson, they're not getting as much return from those cannabis places now, and there are a lot more opening. So it hasn't become the industry that it was before. We all remember what happened in front of the city council when they talked about how they were trying to gouge these people that were trying to open up a cannabis business in Fall River. And that lawyer, if anybody, I think it may still be on YouTube, go to that council meeting and watch that guy literally just gut them.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. But I mean,
well, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit. When they passed the cannabis law by initiative petition, what did I say? I said, this is going to be a glut. There's going to be a glut of them. What they're expecting on a return with the taxation and the fees is not going to be there because there's going to be too many of them out there and there's just going to be too much to choose from. Now, you've got somebody like Will Flanagan and Cosmopolitan, which is generating a lot of interest. A lot of people are going there. I don't know if it's because of his location. I don't know because it's Will Flanagan. I don't know if it's because Will's been in a movie recently. Yes, he has been. It could be any number of things. But I don't understand how other businesses are still opening. I haven't heard one application go through this cannabis commission that the city of Fall River set up. But the people up on Rhode Island Avenue next to Guimont Farms, they were able to open one up, and they were the ones that were involved in the Jazel situation. All those letters issued by Jazel should have become null and void because there's a big question on them. But hey, what the hell do I care?
What movie was he in?
I don't know. He just did a movie. He hasn't said the name of it yet, and he's got an agent and everything.
Oh my Lord! Was it his own movie? Did he pay for the movie?
No. He was solicited.
Oh, is this going to be like the one about the witchcraft and murders up in the reservation? Was it one of those low budget deals? Or you're telling me that Flanagan made Hollywood?
Yeah.
Flanagan goes to Hollywood.
Well, they filmed locally. I think they filmed either in Mass or Rhode Island, but he was broadcasting that on social media for the longest time. So it makes it very interesting. And again, good for him. I'm glad he's making movies and stuff. But
hey, maybe he can move to Beverly Hills and he can say, bring all the illegals in because they won't get into Beverly Hills. It's like Martha's Vineyard,
That's right.
They don't last. Yeah, but I'll leave it to Will to get into a movie. But
Well, he's gotten into a couple of things. He's had some celebrities at his cosmopolitan dispensary, and I wish him all the best of luck. I mean, from what I understand, there's rumors that he may be opening a second dispensary in another city. I wish him all the luck. If he's making the money there and he doesn't have to do law anymore, great. But from what I understand, he's still doing law. That's a wonderful thing. Maybe the recall for him turned out to be a blessing.
yeah, can we get a kickback? Will, send us a check. We got you out of the politics business. CJ and I got you out of that bit. Look what happened. We opened up a whole new career field for you. Now you're one of the rich and nauseous. Send us a check.
That's right.
Finance it. I'll get out. Give me enough money. I'll get out of Massachusetts.
That's it. and then they'll be kicking themselves in the pants because they won't have somebody to negotiate their insurance. They won't have somebody to answer their questions, and they won't have people to say, "Not the brightest bulb on the tree."
Well, I'll have to do. We'll do it like this, remote. I'll still be in the healthcare because I'm obviously as retired. I'll be in the healthcare. I can still do it, but I'll do it remotely from Fiji or something. Come on, Will, walk it over, baby. I'll be heading for the South Pacific, and Patrick can give me. I'll text Patrick pictures of me laying on a beach at 78, 82 degrees.
There you go. Hey, just so you know, tonight, ABC, Dateline, Karen Reed, making national news. Making national news.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I don't like ABC. I don't like ABC that much, but they're the ones covering the story. So, and from what I understand, Karen Reed is making some statements, which I don't know if her lawyer is going to be happy about that, because I heard a couple of the statements already, and I'm like, I wouldn't say that before trial.
Well, I'll tell you, that was a very interesting case. I watched a lot of it on court TV. That was quite the case. So, I don't. That's the difference. They're saying that Will made a movie. I don't watch movies anymore. It's like I basically watch stuff like court TV. But that was a very interesting case. Very interesting case. Yeah. And some of the stuff that came out of the case was very interesting too.
Right.
But,
and the trial's going to be coming back in January or February, so we're looking at another trial.
I will definitely watch that because there's a lot of controversy over that case. Still a lot of controversy and a lot of rumors swirling around. But hey, we've got to do something about the way things are going.
Yeah, you're right, Nelson. I think what she did say is going to give tremendous problems. I mean, she made a comment like, I may have nicked him. I did not deliberately hit him. I did not, maybe I ran over his foot. You can't make comments like that.
Or was it his head? Oh, wait a minute. I don't know.
I don't know exactly. So makes for an interesting time. Well, I want to thank you all for watching. It's going to be a warm weekend. Excuse me. A warm weekend. Warm, good part of the week next week in the 70s. Enjoy the weather while you can, because this may be the end of it for us. So remember, stay safe, stay angry, and hold your politicians accountable. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.